Hi, in this video we are going to discuss about quartiles, deciles, percentiles for group data. Have you ever wondered how to get the measures of position if your data is greater than or higher than 30? So let's find out. The table of frequency will help us find the measures of position easier. Now remember that the position of the quartiles or the deciles or the percentiles can be checked using the cumulative frequency. So this cumulative frequency will tell us that the first to the eighth number or data is found here. And then from the 9th to the 18th data is found here. Ito naman yung 19th to 39. Dito yung 40th number up to the 53rd number. Dito naman yung pang 54 na number hanggang pang 64. And then here, makikita mo yung pang 65th up to the 70th number or data. Yun yung position. Here is the formula for quartiles. Q sub k is equal to lower boundary plus k, that's your nth quartile, times your n divided by 4 minus the cumulative frequency below divided by the frequency times the interval. The formula for deciles is d sub k is equal to lb or the lower boundary plus the quantity of k, that's your nth decile, times n divided by 10 minus the cumulative frequency below divided by the frequency times the class interval. Percentiles. So the formula for percentiles is p sub k is equal to the lower boundary plus the quantity of k or the nth percentile times your n, which is the total frequency, divided by 100 minus the cumulative frequency below divided by the frequency times the interval. How do we look for the quartiles? This will also be the same as looking for the deciles and then the percentile. So first is you prepare your table of frequency. Number 2 is you find the location of the quartile or the decile or the percentile that you're looking for. And then you solve using the formula. Okay, so for the examples that we will discuss today, gagamitin natin yung ating table, mathematics test scores of 50 students. Now, ang N natin is 50. At saan natin kukunin yung frequencies? Dito sa column na to. And then yung lower boundaries, dito makukuha. And then yung cumulative frequency is depende. Kasi ang kailangan natin ay cumulative frequency below. Pero dyan din siya makukuha sa column na yan. Okay, let's have our first example. So we need to look for the first quartile. So sabi natin sa step 1 is you prepare your table of frequency. Step 2, hanapin natin yung position ng ating first quartile. And to look for the position of the first quartile, ang kailangan natin ay Q sub 1 is equal to 1 times 50 divided by 4 is equal to 12.5. Nandun makikita yung ating first quartile. So yung 12.5 position ay nandito banda. Okay? Kasi kung titingnan nyo, itong part na to, nandito yung 1 hanggang 6, nandito naman yung 7 hanggang pang 18th na number. So, dito makikita yung pang 12.5. Okay, next step, let's use the formula. So, Q sub 1 is equal to the lower boundary plus 1 times n over 4 minus the cumulative frequency below divided by the frequency times the interval. So, notice na itong position, itong formula na to, itong ginamit natin to kanina. Ito yan. Okay, pareho silang dalawa. So, pag sinolve natin later, ito magiging 12.5 na rin yan. Let me just erase and then we'll proceed. So, ang lower boundary natin, by looking at this table, so ito yung ating lower boundary, 12.5, 25.5, kaya nakuha. And then, 1 times 50 divided by 4 ay dito nang galing yan. And then, yung 6 natin is the cumulative frequency below. So, hindi itong 18 ang pipiliin, kundi itong 6. Below. Cumulative frequency below. And then, yung 12 natin is manggagaling sa frequency na nandito. So, let me just erase kasi medyo magulo na. And then, the class interval, saan siya nanggagaling or paano rin siya nakukuha? So, itong 26 minus 21, pwede niyong isubtract yan. Or 36 minus 31, the answer will be 5. So, doon yung pwedeng kunin yung class interval. So, pwede ring 30 minus 25. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, so ang quartile 1 natin is equal to 25.5 plus 12.5 minus 6 divided by 12. So, solve muna natin yung nasa loob ng parentheses. So, 12.5 minus 6, that will give us 6.5. 6.5 i-divide sa 12, 0.5417 times 5 natin is 2.7085. Saka nyo i-add sa 25.5. So, the result for quartile 1 is equal to 28.21. And how do we interpret that? So, remember sa quartiles natin, ang quartile 1 is 25%, quartile 2 is 50%, quartile 3 ay 75%. So, si quartile 1, 25% of the students scored 28.21 or below. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng value natin na quartile 1 is equal to 28.21. Okay, this time, let's solve for the second quartile. So first, hanapin natin yung position. So since ang quartile sa Q sub 2 natin, ang formula sa paghanap ng position is K times N divided by 4. Kasi nga quartile na dinidivide sa 4. So, ang formula natin for the position is Q sub 2 is equal to 2 times 50 kasi 50 yung frequency divided by 4. So, 2 times 50 is 100 divided by 4, 25. So, saan makikita yung pang 25 na number? Nandito siya. So, remember, sa ating cumulative frequency nyo pwedeng tingnan, nandito yung 1 to 6, nandito yung 7 up to 18, tapos nandito yung 19 hanggang 27. So, yung 25, nandito lang naglalaro. Andyan yung kanyang location. So, next. So, gamit na tayo ng formula. So, Q sub 2 is equal to the lower boundary plus 2 times N over 4 is equal to cumulative frequency below divided by the frequency times the interval. So, ang lower boundary natin, pag tinignan nyo dito sa part na to, let me just get the marker. So, dito kayo kukuha ng lower boundary ng frequency. At yung inyong cumulative frequency below ay nasa baba ni 27. So, substitute na natin. Okay, so lower boundary natin is 30.5. Yung N natin is 50. Divided by 4. Tapos yung cumulative frequency below ni 27 ay 18. So, 18 ang gagamitin natin. And then yung frequency, F natin is 9. And then the interval is 5. Okay. So, solve natin muna yung 2 times 50 divided by 4 is 25. 25 minus 18 is 7 over 9. 7 divided by 9 is 0.778. Times 5 ay 3.889 and then i-add nyo sa 30.5. So, result niyan ay 34.39. So, this means that 50% of the students who took the test got scores of 34.39 or below. Okay, so in this example, we are going to solve for the third decile. So, let's look first for the position of the third decile. So, ang position niya ay d sub 3 is equal to 3 kasi hinahanap nga natin is third decile. So, 3 yan times n, that's 50 kasi 50 yung nag-take ng test. Okay, and then yung total ng frequency natin is your n, 50. Divided by 10 kasi decile na tayo. So, that will give us 15. So, saan makikita yung 15 number? So, nandito siya. So, discuss ko muna kung nasaan bawat. So, with the help of the cumulative frequency, dito makikita yung first to 6th, dito naman yung 7 to 18th, dito yung 19 to 27, nandito yung 28 to 38, tapos 39 to 46, and then 47 hanggang 50th number ay nandun sa pinakataas. So, saan makikita yung 15? So, dito siya makikita sa part na to. Okay, so nandyan yung 7th hanggang 18th na number. So, nandito siya. Okay, next step is for us to use the formula. So, formula is d sub 3 is equal to the lower boundary plus the quantity of 3 times n over 10 minus cumulative frequency below divided by the frequency times your interval. So, yung 3n over 10 is the same as this, yung position natin. Ito, pareho lang yan siya. So, 15 siya. And then, saan ko kukunin yung lower boundary? Dito, kung saan tayo nag-interpolate, 25.5. Then, where can I get the frequency? So, yung frequency ay dito. 12. Eh, saan naman makukuha yung cumulative frequency below? Diba dito ka nag-i-interpolate? Kunin mo yung nasa baba kasi nga below siya. So, it's 6. Okay, let's continue the formula. Substitute na natin. Lower boundary is 25.5 plus 3 times 50 over 10 minus 6 divided by 12 times 5. Okay, so multiply natin yung 3 times 50 over 10. That's 15. 15 minus 6 is 9 divided by 12. That will give us 0.75. Times 5 is 3.75. Saka nyo i-add sa 25.5. So, ang third decile natin is equal to 29.25. And this means that 30% of the students scored 29.25 or below. In this example, we are going to discuss about the 8th decile or how to solve for the 8th decile. Now, first step is for us to look for the position. So, saan ba natin makikita yung ating 8th decile? So, the 8th decile or d sub 8 is equal to 8 times 50 divided by 10 is equal to 40th place or nasa 40th position siya. So, kung 40th position, tingnan natin. Remember na nandito yung 1 to 6, ito yung 7 to 18, nandito yung 19 to 27, nandito yung 28 hanggang 38. Nandito yung 39 hanggang 46. So, nandun na. Nakita na natin kung saan yung location ng ating 8th decile. So, nandito siya makikita. Okay. So, after looking for the position, gamitin na natin yung formula. So, d sub 8 is equal to the lower boundary plus the quantity of 8 times n over 10 minus cumulative frequency below divided by the frequency times the interval. So, ang ating lower boundary ay dito makikita. Yung ating cumulative frequency ay nasa baba ni 46. Ang frequency ay nasa 8. And yung interval natin ay 5. Paano yun? Pwedeng 26 minus 21 or 46 minus 41. O kaya we count from 46 to 50. So, pwede din yun. Let me just erase. So, let's substitute the value. So, lower boundary natin ay 40.5 plus 8 times n, that's 50, divided by 10 minus 38, divided by 8 times 5. So, solve natin yung 8 times 50 divided by 10, that's 40, minus 38 ay 2 over 12. That will give us 0.1667 times 5. ay 0.8333 plus nyo sa 40.5. So, ang value ng ating d sub 8 is equal to 41.33. So, that means 80% of the students scored 41.33 or below. Okay, so this time we are going to have the example for the 41st percentile. So sabi natin, you have to look for the position first of the percentile that you're looking for. So yan ay makukuha by using the formula P sub k is equal to k times n divided by 100. Since we're discussing about percentile. So para mahanap yung position, okay, 41 times 50 divided by 100 will give us 20.5. Ngayon, nasaan banda yung 20.5 na position na yan? So, nandito siya sa area na to. So, paano mo malalaman yun? Remember, nandito yung 1 to 6, 7 to 18, nandito yung 19 to 27. So, since we're looking for 20.5, nandito siya banda. Nandito sa lugar na yan. Okay, let me just clear this out. Okay, sunod, use the formula. P sub 41 is equal to the lower boundary plus 41 times n over 100 minus the cumulative frequency below divided by frequency times your interval. So, saan natin kukunin yung mga informations or values na yan? So, ang lower boundary, dito kukunin. Ang iyong 41 times n over 100 ay nandito sa position kanina. That's 20.5. Erase ko lang to. Saan kukunin yung frequency? So, itong frequency ay dito siya makukuha kay 9. And then, saan ko kukunin yung cumulative frequency below? So, hindi dito kay 20. Wait lang ha. Erase ko lang to. So, saan ko kukunin yung cumulative frequency below? So, ito, kung saan ka nag-interpolate, sa baba niya. So, you're not going to use 27, you will use 18. Okay, substitute na natin yung mga values. So, 30.5 plus 41 times 50 over 100 minus 18 divided by 9 over, or times 5. So, you multiply or solve muna yung nasa loob. So, 41 times 50 over 100 is 20.5 minus 18 ay 2.5. Divide by 9 is 0.2777. I-times kay 5, that will give us 1.3888 plus 30.5 will give us a value of 31.88. And ano yung ibig sabihin ng P sub 41 is equal to 31.88. So, ibig sabihin yan, 41% ng mga nag-take ng test ay may score na 31.88 pababa. Okay, so let's have our next example. 79 percentile naman yung hinahanap natin so sa ating problem for this time. So let's look first for the position of the P sub 79. So that's going to be equal to 79 times 50 divided by 100. So saan nanggaling yung 50? Kasi yung frequency natin ay 50 lahat. Or yung nag-take ng test ay 50. And then 100 siya ang denominator natin kasi percentile yung ating hinahanap. So 79 times 50 divided by 100 will give us 39.5. So saan makikita yung 39.5 na yan? Okay, so remember, dito makikita sa pinaka-bottom yung 1 to 6, nandito yung 7 to 18, andito yung 19 to 27, andito naman yung 28 to 38, at dito yung 39 hanggang 46. So, ibig sabihin, nandito siya. Nandyan yung kanyang location. So, 39.5 is located here. So, dito tayo mag-i-interpolate. So, gamit yung formula, P sub 79 is equal to lower boundary plus 79 times n over 100 minus the cumulative frequency below divided by the frequency times the interval. So, ano yung mga data na kailangan natin? Lower boundary, dito lang siya kukunin. Tapos yung ating position, ito. Position ng ating percentile, 79 percentile ay ito, 39.5. Saan naman makukuha yung frequency? Dito kung saan ka nag-interpolate. And then, saan ko naman makikita yung cumulative frequency below? Ang kailangan natin ay nasa baba kung saan ka nag-interpolate. So, 38 yung gagamitin natin. Okay, let's proceed with the formula. So, substitute na natin yung lahat ng given. So, 40.5 plus 79 times 50 over 100 minus 38 divided by 8 times 5. So, solve muna natin yung 79 times 50 divided by 100. That's 39.5. I-minus natin yan kay 38, magiging 1.5. I-divide kay 8, magiging 0.1875 times 5 is 0.9375. Saka nyo i-add kay 40.5. So, ibig sabihin, ang value ng 79 percentile natin is 41.44. So, this means 79% of the students who took the test got scores of 41.44 or below. Sana naintindihan yung ating lesson. So, kung nahihirapan, pwedeng balikan yung ating video tutorial. Thank you for watching.